Hello everyone. If you ever wanted to create a dark mode to your website, this video is exactly for you. So in this tutorial, we will recreate this effect. While I'm toggling this tiny toggle, my entire website become dark mode. And also, if you refresh it, the mode is saved based on the user choice. Alright, so let's jump in. I'm using this wireframe from the Wix Studio wireframes website, and you can simply edit it, and you can follow me as I show how to create this dark mode. So this is a clean new wireframes, and we will start in a second. Alright, so let's see what things we need to do to achieve dark mode. So first thing we need to do is setting a dark mode design for each element. So the way we can create a different style to an element, it's simply we can, for example, go to the interactions, and for example I want to add a click event, and I'll create a custom effect, and when I'm clicking on this text I can simply change its color to something else, right? So let's see how it works. So if I click on this text, it will become blue. Okay. And very important thing is that if I remove this animation, I removed the trigger, not the effect itself. How can I prove it? If I'll go to hover and go to add an effect, and I will go to custom, I see that my effect is it's still there. Okay, this is very important. So let's delete this one, because we don't want to apply an effect for a specific element, because it's a lot work to go through the entire website and apply effect for each element. Instead, we will go to the parent section and apply the effect to the section, and from this section we can change all the child elements at once. So let's see an example. So I'll create a click event. It's important to do the click, not the hover, and I'll explain later. So let's create a custom one. And now if we'll go to the layers panel, we can see that we can affect the entire children of this section. So to achieve the dark mode, I will select, for example, this text, and let's change its color to let's do it pure dark mode. So let's take this gray, and let's select, sorry, this, okay, I will fix it later. Select the second element, same color, and I'll select the button also to the same gray, and I can also change its text color. Can I? Yeah, to black. Okay, and I can even change the hover effect, but I won't do it right now. You can immediately see that I cannot change the section background. So we have a workaround for it. So let's see how can we do it. So let's click done and just test quickly the effect. So if I click on the section, it will apply this effect to the all elements inside of it. So let's we will fix this title later. We just need to remember that its size is 55 pixels. So because we cannot change section background, the workaround is to add a container to this section. Let's go to quick add a container. Let's stretch it, and I will copy this padding. I won't copy it exactly. Let's assume everything is 3% all around. So let's make it 0, and I'll apply this padding to the container, 3% all around, and then I will bring it to back, and I'll drag this stack element, this content, inside this container. Let's make it center, and I'll remove its background color. So now if I'll go back to the section, to the interaction, let's edit it. So now I can select this container and change its background to my dark. Okay, so let's quickly fix this text, and instead of 90 it will be 55. All right, another thing that I found that is good to the performance of the interaction is to change everything to linear and make it less, like 0.1, something like this. I will apply it to all the elements. All right, and also change the initial state so the transition will be equal. Okay, great. So now let's test it. Let's click done. And if I click on this section, I see the hover effect, right? Sorry, the dark mode style that we set to this section. So let's go back, and I need to rename. You can choose any name you like, but I think the most meaningful name, it will be, let's rename it to dark mode. Okay, this name is important, we will see later. And now I will remove the click trigger, and remember that the animation is still there, but I didn't select any trigger. All right, so this is the first action that we need to do, is setting dark mode design for each element. Of course I can do it for my entire website, but I don't want to waste a lot of time. I'll just quickly do this section also. So let's go to click, add, custom. Oh, sorry, I forgot I cannot change the section background. So let's rename it to dark mode, although we didn't do any changes yet. And I'll select all these elements. I love this method. I'll stretch it, bring it back, select the elements, and move it a little bit so they will become children, so they will go into this container. Drag it a little bit, and so really not. Let's select these three. So now, what's up? This is the container. So let's drag this one. Now it's child of the container. And now let's select these three images. And now they're child of this container. Let's make it them set. Oh, sorry. Let's make it them a bit center. Okay. Assuming this is okay. Let's remove this container background. So now we see the section background. And let's go back to the interaction, edit. And what we do now changing the background of this container to black, and select this title, changes to our grayish color, and change this text, this paragraph, also to same color. Great. And immediately I'm removing the trigger. Okay, so we set 2 sections to the dark mode. Lastly, let's select the header and also set a hover interaction. Same, I will stretch a container inside, bring it back, copy this padding, remove it from the section itself, add it to the container, 3 and 3. Let's drag this logo inside this new container. Let's drag this button inside, align it, and let's drag this menu also inside. Okay, great. Now header, hover and click interaction, custom, add. Let's change this background of the container to black, this get started button to gray, its text to black, this menu items to grayish. We can also change the hover to make it more popping, to make it, I don't know, white. Okay. And change this text also to grayish. And you can very quickly see that I cannot change this logo, SVG logo color. We will see how to solve it. So let's click done and quickly rename it. Same name exactly, dark mode. Save, and you can see, if you click, you can see that it's applied. And let's remove the trigger. And I forgot to remove this background. All right, so we have 3 sections: header, hero, and second fold. That is, this is the initial state, and they have another mode which is dark mode, and nothing right now is trigger these effects. So this is the first step that we finish. Now the second thing we need to do is the activating dark mode on all elements that have dark mode in a click. Okay, so I will choose to change the mode using this toggle. Okay, this is switch element. So to be able to see this switch, you need to open dev mode, which you already need to do. You need to do because we are going to save this mode using and toggle this effect using code. And then if I go to the add panel, now I have inputs. So let's go to switch. Let's just drag this one to our header, and I will just center it. Okay, so now each section we expected to have this property of dark mode, right? So to be able to get to this effect, we need to use Velo. So in Velo there is a new API called effects, and if you read about it a little bit, you can see that each element is also has effects. I will demonstrate it very quickly. If I'll, for example, select our first section, and let's change its ID to hero section, and I will simply log this object. So log hero section dot effects. It looks like an error, but it's not. So that's called let's save it and publish it, and let's go to the live site to see what's this section contain. So we printed our first section, effects, hero section, and you can see that it's including array of effects, and here you can see that we have this dark mode that we set, which is great because we can see immediately that we have another function that is apply effects. So let's quickly try to apply the dark mode effects when we are toggling this switch. Alright, oh, by the way, there is also toggle effects. So let's do it. So we know our name of the effect is called dark mode. Okay, so we can do something like this. So I'll just save it right here, and then let's change its name to let's keep it this way. We will later, I will copy the code that I write from the example I did before. So switch element, this element on change. What do we need to do? What we want to do? We want to take this hero section, and we don't want to get to the effects. We want to we can go to the official API. We want to toggle effect. So this function should get an array of effects that we want to toggle. So toggle effects, and then we will pass an array. So this is not the right way to write it. It's effects dot toggle effects, and we will pass our animation, our effect, the dark mode effect. So let's publish it and see how it's in action. All right, so let's refresh it. And now if I click, you can see that the dark mode effect is toggled basically while I'm clicking. Great. So basically what we need to do is we need to do it for each element, right? So I will copy the example code that I already started before. So it goes like this. I have a function called init site theme. Okay, so let's copy it, and I'll explain everything. So this function sits right here, and we have errors. We will fix it later. So you can see immediately that the theme switch is the dark mode switch, which is this element. So let's change its ID. I don't need this code right now. So this is the switch, and we have site theme, and you can see that I have get user user choice. Okay, so let's comment this out right now. Okay, also this one, I will go back to it later. And here on the switch on change, I have a function that's called set site theme, and it's pass the name of the effect that we set. So let's copy this function, set site theme, and I will go over it and explain everything. Don't worry. So this is another function. Okay, so let's comment this out. This is save user preferences. Okay, so let's comment this out, and right now it's simply switch on change. If it's checked, this is the checked mode, and this is when it's not checked. Okay, so by default it's not checked because when you click on it, it's become checked, and then you apply dark mode. So this is the default. So if it's checked, I want to set this site theme as a dark mode. if it's not checked, I want to set the theme as a light mode. Okay, and inside this function I can see that I have, can I make it bigger? Okay. I can see that I have an array which is called affected dark mode elements. All the elements that has dark mode style, dark mode interaction that we set. So currently we have this hero, the header, let's call it header. So this is the first, let's delete everything. This is the first element that we have, that we apply this effect, the dark mode effect to. The second one is this hero section. And the third one is this second fold, section. Okay, this is the 3 elements that we set. All right, so what we are doing basically for each of these elements, if site theme is equal to dark mode, right, when we are toggling this, when we're calling this function on change, we are passing the mode. This should be with big M. We're setting the mode that we want to apply. So we set, here we pass dark mode. So if it's equal dark mode, we want to apply the effect. Ignore this one. Okay. This is related to the logo. I will explain later. So if it's dark mode, we want the elements effect, apply effect, dark mode. Okay. If it's not, we want to remove the dark mode effect. Okay. So let's run this function, this code, and to see if it's working. Let's publish it. Alright, we don't have any errors. So as I click, nothing happens. Let's see why. First of all, we need to see this dark mode switch. Oh, it's very simple because we didn't call this function at all. So let's call it. Let's republish it. And now, if we toggle this on, error. You see, this is error that will help you to understand why something is not working. So past effect, dark mode, to the remove effects method are wrong for this element. Allowed effect is dark mode, you see, with capital M. So this is a case sensitive. This is why we need to make sure that every time we call dark mode, it's right the same way. So let's update right here. Let's update. Sorry, this is not, this is the something else. We will talk about it. And every time we are calling to apply the effect, we need to pass the right name, dark mode. So now, hopefully it will work. So as I toggle it on, amazingly, it's working. Do you see some delay? A tiny delay? It's because here I set the easing as linear and here is not linear. This is why you see this tiny difference, okay? But you can see that for some reason, the container here is not getting black. So let's see why. So let's go back to the header animation. Let's go to the click, custom, edit. So we see that we didn't set it. So let's go to the container and set it to be black. Done. And this is a bit confusing because in practice you don't see, when you remove it, you don't see that this section has any effect, but in practice we have. So you just need to remember it. So let's publish it again. This mistake that I'm doing while recording is good because it will help you to understand if you make mistake. So let's toggle it on, and you can see that everything is working as expected. The only missing part is that this logo is an SVG. We need to find a solution how to convert it also. Okay. To fix the delay, of course, I can do it again and go to the edit mode and then change everything to be linear with same duration. So let's do it very quickly. Sorry, linear. That's it. And also to the initial state. Super important. I won't do it for the second section because it's waste of time. You get the point. And don't forget to remove the trigger. And now you see this header and hero section at the same time. The second fold is lazy. All right, great. So now we need to find a solution for before we will do it, I want to show you what's happened to repeater item, because basically if I add if I want to change the style for a repeater item, I cannot do it from the section. I need to define hover effect to the item of the repeater itself. So just for this example, let's make this padding equal to everything. And for this, I will add a click interaction, again, custom, create. Let's make this background black. And let's select this text element, make it this gray. And this title also gray. And it's just for this example. So let's change the name to dark mode with capital D. And of course, remove the trigger. So now don't forget to add this repeater item ID. So let's give it an ID, repeater item. And then add it to the list of the affected elements. So let's see if it's happened. To make it easier for me, I will make this section, this header, pinned or sticky. Oh, it's already sticky. So it will scroll down with me. Great. So now here you can see it's changed as I wanted it to change. Great. All right. And now let's see how we solve this vector art. So for this one, there is two options. The first option is you actually can put two elements on top of each other and then hide and show based on the mode. But I prefer to do it using CSS. So let's go to the CSS, and you can see here immediately the selector. So if I select this, click on it, it will automatically add this selector for me. And for SVG, you need to change the fill. So let's change it, for example, to red. And it's not working, as you can see. Because I did my homework, so I know that I need to add the path, to change the path to red. And now you see it's changed. So we will change it to white. Okay. but I don't, this is the default, right? I want to control when to add this class only when we are setting the dark mode. So I'll create another class which called dark mode. Okay, and as long as this element is not getting this class, as you can see right here, it will not get the effect. So in my code, you can see that first of all I need to add this. Let's give it a name, logo, and then I will add it right after the header. It's not important, but it's important for the order that the sections that we have, just to make everything organized. And then you can see this is not a section, this is an element. So right here I'm checking if this element type is equal to vector image. This is Wix selector for element type. So if it's equal to vector image, okay, so what I'm doing, I'm going to element, class list, add, this is also kind of new, add, and then I am adding manually a specific class. And of course, if it's the theme is that I'm asking is not dark mode, I'm removing this dark mode. Okay, so basically each element that you want to apply a CSS to it for the dark mode, you need to add this class to it, okay, for any custom design that you are doing. So let's see if it's working. I just need to make sure that it's same name, dark mode. See, this is the class name I gave it. So now as I toggle it on, it should become white. And it's working. You can also apply some transitions so it will be at the same time with the entire animation. But it's look pretty good, right? Alright, so this is the second thing that we did, activating dark mode on all elements on click. And now the last thing that we need to do, we need to save in this user choice. Alright, so this is the third part. So we are using the local storage to save this information inside the user browser memory. So local storage is never expired, I think, unless you clean your cookies or something like this. And so when user is clicking on it, we need to save it. Okay, so this is the function that is doing it. Okay, so it's called save user theme preferences. I don't know how to spell it. And we are missing this function, so let's copy it from here. Right there. Okay, this is the function, and what it get? Again, getting the theme that we want to set, which is dark mode, right? So let's see if I'm switching this on. Okay, if it's checked, I'm going to save the user choice with the dark mode, and remember this should be with capital M. Okay, so this function is getting the theme mode and it's checking if there is value here. So local storage set item theme, this you can put any name that you like here, but you need to be consistent, and the name of the animation. And if it's not contain anything when it's happening, when this is not checked, so we want to remove the dark mode. So I'm calling this function without any parameters, and if it's not exist, I'm removing the theme. Okay, super simple. I will show you a live example how it's worked. So let's publish it. And now if I'll open the console and go to application, now here you see local storage. Okay, so look what's happened. Now it's kind of clean. Okay, oh sorry, there is twice because I did my practice, so let's delete it. All right, so let's look what happened as I click it on. Okay, so wait, I didn't load it as it should be, I think. So let's see, as I click, you see, as I clicked on, let's remove it again, delete. Look what's happened here. If I click it on, there is new data that is stored right in the local storage of this browser. Okay, and you see the theme is equal to dark mode. If I toggle it off, it's deleted. All right, so after we are saving this user information, so we need to get it as we are. Look, I'm refreshing the website and this information is still there. See, it's still there, but it's not applying the theme based on what it saved right here. So this is the second function, that is, I'm calling as we are initially call this function, I'm also setting the site theme. And this is actually, I don't need to oh, we do. Okay, so I'm setting the site theme by calling get user preferences, and this is simply go to the local storage and getting the item called theme, this one, the object with the key theme, and is checking if it exists. This should be capital M. If the site theme is equal dark mode, we are basically calling the same function as we are switching this on and off, which is set site theme with the theme that we stored. Okay, and lastly, we are returning this mode to right here. Okay, and the idea is that is right after this, I'm checking. You know what, let's do it step by step. Let's publish it, and now you will see that let's toggle it on. Okay, and now if I will refresh it, so we are getting this information and applying the dark mode immediately. See, also the repeater gets this effect. But look what's happened, this toggle is still on the light mode, right? If I toggle it on, it will apply it again, and now it will erase it again. So we need to update this toggle also. So right here we are we are having the current state of the site theme. So now again we are asking if the site theme equal to dark mode with capital M, of course. We are changing the theme switch to be checked. All right, so let's publish it again. And it will be switched if I toggle it on. Now I refresh and it switched to be on. That's it. This is the example I did. It's worked everywhere. I checked, and also something you should know, that there is some elements that you cannot control their design when you are trying to create hover interaction or click interaction. Okay, for example, if I want to change this form style, so let's add click by selecting this section, custom, and then if I select this form, you see I don't have any options to change its style. Okay, so there is two options. You can follow the method of using the CSS. Okay, I don't know if this element has this doesn't have CSS, but for example, if I want to change the background of this one, so I can simply go to the design. It's just an example of this form widget. I can remove it the background, and I can, because it's stuck, I will unstuck it. I can wrap this form with a new container. So now it's inside a container. So let's position it again. And now I will set its background to the container. We can also set the corners as it should be. Okay, so we get same style, but now I can go to this section, and now if I create a click event, again, I can select the form wrapper, which is yeah, this one, and change its background to black. Okay, this is just for the example. Okay, and now let's change its name to dark mode. Save. Of course, I need to give this section an ID. Let's call it form section. And oh, sorry, this is the CSS. Let's go right here, form section, and I need to add it to my list as an element that have dark mode style. So now if I toggle it on the form, it will get this dark mode view. Okay, it's not the best looking thing, but you got the idea. All right, that's it. Let me know in the comments if it's working for you, and please share. I would like to see that you are doing something very cool with it. Till next time, keep building amazing site on Wix Studio.